Hey y'all. Um, bear with me here. It's been a minute since I made a video, per usual. Um, but just felt called to come on today and just talk about, I don't really know if it's a concept, an idea, a perspective, um, whatever, a narrative, I guess, that I have come to observe and help my clients navigate in what I do in my business. And I guess I'll start it off by saying that a couple years ago, going back 3 or 4 years now, I took a business, it was like a spiritual business mentorship. And my business coach in that had told me that I was the most spiritually grounded person he's ever met. And when he said it to me, I knew what he meant, but I guess I didn't know what he meant. As I've navigated this spiritual human journey the last 3 or 4 years, even more, and really dropped into what it means to be embodied. So when he said that to me, I took it, with confidence and grace and received the compliment. But again, that concepts being spiritually grounded, because it almost sounds contradictory, I guess, right? Because we as humans tend to perceive the spiritual realm as like something above us or out there, and we separate it from our human existence, right? That is literally the illusion of separation that our humans have, we'll say, signed up for. Um, our spirits have signed up for. And the more I do my own inner work and work with other people that are doing theirs, the more it just becomes so clear that spirit and physical worlds are one and the same, right? And I've made videos before about how, like, we literally couldn't have this physical world, this 3D world, as we refer to it, without the spiritual, or I also just call it the energetic world, because that to me, spirit and energy, same thing. And really, the spiritual realm is just what we don't see with our physical eyes. But when you're in tune, you can very much feel it, sense it, know it, and even see it um, with our spirit senses, right? But also our human senses. So again, the more you start to, I'll say, integrate what we receive in these spiritual downloads into your human existence, the more you realize that literally the separation of the two worlds is truly an illusion. Like, again, you couldn't have the physical world without the energetic spiritual world. So I say all this because one of my clients that I'm working with right now, and many clients that I've previously worked with, come into my container still with this idea that they're super spiritual, but they don't know how to like navigate the human world because they're too spiritual, they're too etheric, right? And what I help them to inner under superstand is that, again, this spiritual realm we refer to, or the energy realm, or also I also refer to it as the quantum field, which is the everything and nothing. It's just information. And when we are able to access that information, our human self can access that information. The most important part from there is then integrating it into your human journey. That's the point of being able to tune into all of that, right? It's not meant to just be this like magical place we blast off to and have an experience and come back and we're like, well, that was wild. Yep, I blasted off. Cool. But like, what was the information that came in when you blasted off? What was the experience? What did it feel like? Because there's messages there that your soul is trying to remind you of, so you can literally pull it into this body, pull it into this physical human existence, right? That's, again, I have been shown countless times that the point of being here on this earth plane is literally that our spirit self just wanted to come down and experience itself in a physicality, in a physical world where we can touch, right? Where we do have all these physical senses. That's why we're here. That's our purpose. Like honestly, like the broad purpose of it all is literally just experience what it is to be human. And then you look around and a tree's purpose is literally just to be a tree, right? And when I say just be a tree, that's pretty freaking powerful. Like trees, all of nature, everything in this physical world is powerful. And so the fact that our spirits even chose that is pretty badass. Being able to see that, like, your soul chose what your human is navigating is badass. It has been some of the most empowering information that I've remembered because I, like a multitude of other humans walking this earth plane, have endured a lot of trauma in this lifetime, 1000%. But I don't sit here and feel like a victim to it, right? Certainly, my human has had to navigate layers of feeling victimized because I was victimized. But I've always, since we'll say unveiling a lot of my traumas and stuff, or remembering a lot of things from childhood and my marriage, just everything, my higher self reminds me that I signed up for it. Like, it's literally the experience I came to live. And the more I'm shown that, the more I can have compassion and grace for my human self. And the more I can see my human self through like a lens of empowerment and gratitude. Um, because again, our souls didn't sign up for an easy time. I mean, look at what we're living in right now. There's nothing easy about it, but it's still pretty badass that we're here navigating all of this. And to me, like literally being spiritually grounded means you're allowing your spirit to be present in your body, to be present in each now moment, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, right? It's not numbing out. It's not distracting from the things that make us feel uncomfortable or avoiding the conversations that are uncomfortable, right? Like, and now I'll go into like the love fear paradigm, which I teach a lot in my workshop that I give. But again, I literally see everything on this earth plane as energy. It's all energy. And there's just varying frequencies of energy. But, a lot of us walk around like knowing that we're all one, right? Like we say that a lot, but I don't really think our human grasps the concept, even though our soul self knows what we mean when we're saying that, right? If we're all one, then literally what we're saying is there is no separation of us versus them, of ego versus soul. Now, to exist in this physical realm, we have created that separation to, we'll say, decipher different human experiences or different physical experiences, right? Like there is a necessity for those labels, for those differentiations. But what our humans have forgotten, right? Like a lot of us talk about how we're in amnesia. We've forgotten all of this. We forget that just because we created these separations, right? Male, female, right, wrong, dark, light, doesn't mean that we're not all of it. Like we are. And that's what we mean when we say we are one or one love. Um, so again, spiritually grounded means you are tuned in to your spirit self, your soul, your higher self, higher states of consciousness, which, some of us call God, creator, source, universe, Jah. I mean, there's a multitude of names and labels we have given to these energies so we can create a world of um differences, really. And it's kind of cool because, like, outside of this, we're just existing in that oneness, which is beautiful too. But it's our experiences in the physical world that feed the knowing of the oneness and vice versa. Like, if that makes sense. That's how it's just kind of channeling in right now. It's like it's all of our individual physical experiences in this world that send that information to the one source creator of it all that we have all just fragmented from, right? Like I always will tell people, and again, you don't have to believe anything I'm saying. I'm sharing this because it's what has been sort of revealed to me as truth. It feels like truth in my body. It feels more like a remembering than something I'm learning for the first time. It's a knowing in my body. And that's what I mean because I'm in my body. I'm here present for the whole human experience. And the less I create a separation in my mind that my spirit and my soul, my spirit and my human are not the same, the less I create that separation, the more whole or the more full my life is. And the less I will say run from uncomfortable stuff. Because for me, those uncomfortable experiences have been the most shifting, powerful, loving experiences for myself. Maybe not in the moment, it doesn't feel that way, right? Like the crumbling of my marriage, the trauma and abuse I faced as a baby, um, and all the other things that have come as sort of, we'll say, energetic, karmic cycles of those things. In the moment, it doesn't feel like it's the best thing for me. But every time I surrender to what is happening and what it's there to show me, teach me really about myself, the more I see the value in every experience that I go through as an individual, but also the human collective, which ironically has allowed me to feel very free in a very unfree world. Because as someone who was we'll say, wounded empath for a long time, and like what the human program tells me is that, I'm trying to run around saving everyone. I mean, I've been a nurse for 17 years, so it's also a part of the program of the career path I chose in this lifetime. So there was a lot of my own ego that wanted to like save people. And then the more I started to like wake up to these rememberings and see what's going on in the world on many layers, it was like, oh my God, my ego, human self, wanted to like save everyone. And I don't feel that way anymore. And just that feeling of not carrying that burden, or like a lot of us will say it's the weight of the world, literally, right? It's so freeing. Like that's freedom to me. That's a huge aspect of freedom. It's like I'm literally not here to save, heal, or fix anyone. I'm literally here to experience what my soul self signed up for as Maria Pedresa, Maria Vasconcelos, and Maria Gingras. And whatever Marias might come after that, I don't know. Who knows, right? it's all limitless. So I've been kind of feeling guided to like change my name, but I don't really know yet. That's a whole nother thing. Um, but I just really wanted to share this because it's a concept that like the more I talk about it with people that I work with, they get it. I'm like, do you see how you're still like feeding a separation of like, so I teach shamanic journeying, and it's something I've been teaching for a while, but I've been doing it more because I've been putting myself out there more to do like workshops and in-person things. And it's been awesome, like amazing. Being able to like empower people with a tool that literally is just access to your higher self, really, and all of that spiritual wisdom that our human has forgotten. And again, when we feed this separation of like, all right, well, today I'm being spiritual, but tomorrow I got to be my human, right? Like, I know what people mean when they're saying that. I know they're referring to like the everyday monotony of humanness, of like paying bills, doing our errands, like maybe going to a 9 to 5 job, whatever it is that our human is experiencing, right? The more you feed the separation that that's separate from your soul self, the more you stay stuck in the illusion of the separation. But the more that you can integrate what we perceive to be the two, the more fulfilling and like rich your life is going to feel. And then you're going to be like, wait a second. So my soul knows what my human wanted to come and navigate. So that means like, and my soul aspect is here, but it's also outside of the space and time. So that means like, wait, it could like give me some pretty like profound wisdom that's probably going to help me navigate my monotonous everyday human experience, right? And then you start to realize that those things aren't even really that monotonous. Um, they're an aspect of the program and the system that we have here that has created a lot of the programs, right? That continues to, we'll say, feed the divide and feed the illusion of separation. But it operates off of fear, and it operates off of all of our unconscious fears. And so that's why when we are stuck in our shadow unconsciously, right? We're very easily manipulated and controlled. I know this because I lived it for a very long time in my own personal marriage, relationships, but also on the bigger scale of a human in this collective that has chosen into a narrative of illusion, delusion, separation, control, and manipulation. It's literally what we opted into in this version of the earth realm. And it is kind of that simple. Um, but it's only that simple to me because I've like navigated a lot of sort of more complex journeys and downloads or rememberings that have been broken down each time and just made more simple so my human can integrate it. And so I can be a spiritually grounded person, right? Because I think there is a how do I want to say this? I feel like the distinction that we create with the whole like spiritual thing, and I've talked about this before, like it's become even, and it's like spirituality, the way that a lot of the human collective expresses it is still very human in the sense that it's almost, well, it hasn't almost, it's become like another program, right? Like you'll literally hear people say, well, you're not spiritual if you eat meat. You're not spiritual if you drink alcohol. You're not spiritual if you do X, Y, Z, right? But again, that's judgment. And it is a construct of the human mind. It's a belief system that in order to be spiritual, you have to do X, Y, Z, or look a certain way or be a certain way. And what I've been schooled on multiple times by my own spirit is that it's another false program. It's a false program of the Matrix that continues to feed our amnesia. Again, the illusion of separation, the idea that our soul is somewhere out there, or even like the etheric realm. Like a lot of us, and I do it too. It's just kind of a habit. Like I look up a lot, right? When I'm talking to spirit. But it's like spirit's not up there. Spirit energy is everywhere. We're already in the quantum realm. We're in the spiritual realm right here, right now. It never goes anywhere. It's not gone anywhere. Our physical selves enter and exit this game, but the soul self is always present. It's always, always. It's just always, 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 as Trevor Hall would say. Um, so again, what does it mean to be spiritually grounded? It means you are allowing your human self to access your soul self's knowing while simultaneously pulling that soul self even further into this human experience, which literally means you're in your body, which literally means you're not disassociating from the experience. You're not using different things to tap out, right? And there's a multitude of things we as humans can use to do that. And I'm not judging it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It is something we do, and it's part of the human condition. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's being able to acknowledge it in your own existence. How often do you tap out? How often are you not present in the now moment? And it's hard in this world that we have been programmed to live in chaos and distraction. But once you see that, you like can't unsee that. And so for me, it's just been a lot easier to become more and more present because I've become very aware of the vices and the patterns and the habits that my human has created to tap out, to numb out, to distract, right? And I know that that's not really honoring what my soul came to experience. Doesn't mean I don't still do it from time to time. Duh, I'm again here to experience my human in whatever way it's going to in the now moment. The beautiful thing about it for me is that I'm aware of when I do it. And which sounds weird because it's like if you're disassociating, how are you aware that you're doing it? It's almost like I'm aware right before I'm about to do it. And it's like I almost have this checkpoint, this like choice point where I'm like, all right, am I gonna really like allow myself to be present for this uncomfortable whatever it is? Or am I gonna use something, someone else to tap out for a little bit, right? And sometimes I do. And sometimes that's literally the human experience I had to go through to realize I don't really want to tap out that much anymore. I want to be present in every now moment, even if every now moment isn't pleasant, right? Because for me, my my biggest growth or my healing has come from facing all of those moments that are not comfortable. Facing them meaning like choosing love instead of fear and saying, what is this experience showing me about me? What did my soul want to gain from my human going through this? These questions also help to take us out of victim mindset because let me tell you, victim mindset, if we're stuck in it, it keeps us trapped, very much so. And that eventually bleeds onto everyone and everything in our life because everything's energy. And so if we're constantly in a victim cycle up here, then our behaviors and patterns are going to be the same karmic cycle, the same gerbil wheel, if you will, which are then just going to result in the same kind of experiences. And that's what karma is. That's all karma is. talked about this before, but bears repeating. Karma is just our cycles that we've been in that were rooted in fear. That's it. And so if we choose to, or don't consciously choose, or even if we consciously choose to stay in that fear cycle, well, then we're just going to keep getting the same results. And then we're going to sit there, and those same results are just going to validate our victim self. Like, see, this keeps happening to me. See, this, I keep attracting these people into my life. I keep attracting this experience into my life, right? And I've done that a million times, right? Like, we're all breaking out of karma. And all that means is we're becoming more and more aware of our human patterns that are rooted in fear and attachment. And then we get to choose. The more aware we become of those patterns within ourselves, the more we get to consciously start to choose in or out of them, into or out of them, right? It's like, all right, so I've just acknowledged this pattern within myself, and it kind of keeps giving me these results. Okay. I wonder why my human does that, right? Like, asking yourself that why question is so powerful. And you may not get your answer right away. You probably won't, but that's okay. It's trusting that the information comes in when your human is ready to receive it. But just by asking it, you're already starting to break the loop, right? You're breaking the habit, the cycle, because you're now aware of, like, wait, this is a pattern. This is a cycle. This is something that keeps just delivering things to me that I really don't want anymore in my life. So I wonder where it came from. I wonder why I do this. Well, the why is usually some sort of a fear, insecurity, that could have either come from an actual lived experience that you had, or it could totally come from the collective belief system, or beliefs that your parents ingrained into you growing up, or your partner, or whoever, right? Like, we're very easily influenced as humans, especially when we are very not tuned in to our soul self energy worlds. We're very, very easily influenced. And so asking that question why is powerful, because it's like, well, where did this even like come from? Why did I start doing this? And then you're able to have compassion for your human self that created that pattern to protect itself, right? Like, that's what the ego does. It's not a bad thing. It's there to protect us as our soul navigates a physical world that has a lot of dangers in it, because that's what we chose into in this experience. So it's really being able to allow your human to just do its human thing, but also the more you access your spiritual knowing, the more aware your human becomes of what it's doing and why it's doing these things and how it's being and its behaviors. And that is really like what it means, I believe, to take your power back, because now you get to consciously start choosing into your experiences, choose your own adventure. And now you start becoming a much more conscious creator of your reality. So I hope this little spiel helps about what it means to be spiritually grounded. It literally means you're allowing your spirit to be present in the body and experience life. And in life, we also experience death, physical death, right? And also spiritual death. And it's all divine. A lot of it is painful, I'm not gonna lie. But I've also like come to the realization many times that pain, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, is just a sign that we're living, that we've chosen to this badass physical existence. So pain has purpose when we allow it in to teach us. If we resist it, try to get rid of it, and I know this well as a nurse, right? Like, literally it's part of the facade of the system about getting rid of people's pain, right? It's like, no, no, no. Like, what is the pain they're telling you? Like, why is there that pain in your body? There's an energetic reason for why that pain is coming up. It wants to be felt, it wants to be expressed, it wants to be heard. Once it is, guess what? You get to take that information, alchemize it, meaning internalize it, and use it as wisdom to be able to now navigate whatever else your human is going to go through. So, love ya. Spirits being humans. Love it.